Eagles Nation? What's up, Sports Nation? It's your boy, Cool Eagle, back here with another video. Just want to come talk to you, guys, because boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Been living a lot of life the past couple days, so I haven't really been active as I would like to. But your boy is still pushing out content, and we have a lot to talk about. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Thursday, and if you're in the East Coast, a good start to your weekend if you're not already asleep. But if you're watching this, of course, give this a like, subscribe. Again, hope you guys are doing well out there, and salute to y'all. Now, recapping on recent sports news, we know the Denver Nuggets pretty much, I wouldn't call it a gentleman's sweep technically, but they pretty much mopped the floor with the Miami Heat. I'm not even going front with you. But the Miami Heat, again, and what they did, their miraculous playoff run, beating a number 1 seed, beating a number 2 seed, and beating a number 4 or number 5 seed in the New York Knicks. Now, a lot of y'all can downplay that because we know the Heat in the regular season do not have a superstar to really talk about. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people talk about Jimmy Butler, but I don't know. Jimmy Butler has been pretty off was pretty off the last few games, showing up in spurts in the fourth quarter, which we know him to do as a closer, but overall consistency throughout that NBA Finals wasn't particularly good. You know, he didn't shoot that well, even from the three-point line, even though that's where we know the Miami Heat as a team just aren't very good at. You know, we knew coming into this that the Miami Heat would have to shoot close to 50% from the arc to beat the Denver Nuggets, because the Denver Nuggets just had too much for them, because you had no answer for Nikola Jokic in the middle. You had no answer for when he had 10-plus assists, kicking the ball out to Jamal Murray, who's also giving you 10 assists. Again, two of the first teammates to ever have a triple-double at the same time in the NBA Finals. You know, we can't run from that. But when you think about the Miami Heat now, you wonder where they're going to go forward from here, because I'm not going to say they lost embarrassingly, because, again, a number 8 seed, the only number 8 seed to, go to an NBA Finals is crazy. No matter what excuses you give them, okay, how they beat the Bucks, right? They didn't have Giannis for 2 or 3 games. When he came back, he was a little sluggish, and Jimmy Butler was looking like the Jimmy Butler that we thought we were going to get in the finals. But it didn't happen that way. You know, they mollywopped the Bucks, who I thought, if you're watching my previous videos, and again, like, subscribe, get the content out there. And again, shout out to y'all that's showing up and watching the replay. But when you think about moving forward with the Miami Heat, it's just, you think about what they did to the Bucks. Now, mind you, Giannis wasn't there for a few games. He looked a little sluggish coming back. They couldn't overcome Jimmy Butler, who we thought we were going to get in the NBA Finals. Now, I'm willing to give Jimmy Butler a little bit of a pass, just because they said he was dealing with some personal issue with his father. So hope all that works out in Jimmy's favor, man. Hope he comes back next year with little to no distractions, to bring Miami Heat that ring that they so desire, because you got to respect the culture. They didn't give up. They kept going. Teams may have underrated them or whatever, or they just may have been that good when they're playing together as a unit, shooting more efficiently than they normally do in the regular season. But I'm not going to go on too much about the Miami Heat just because we have to give credit to the Denver Nuggets. Man, Nikola Jokic is just the 9th center in NBA history to win a Finals MVP. So technically, that does make him a top 10 center of all time, does it not? If he's only one of 9 centers in NBA history to win Finals MVP, then that already makes it. Because name the great centers, in even some that were power forwards, like Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, Bill Russell, even though a lot of us didn't really get to see Bill Russell. And I don't know if a lot of older fans watch Cool Eagle Sports TV, but to all my older audience viewers out there, shout out to you. Thank you for showing up, showing out. Remember to like, subscribe, get the content out there. Love doing this with you all. But yeah, just again, that has to make him a top 10 center. And looking at this this article I want to show y'all by NBC Connecticut. Hold on one moment. There it is. Yep, there it is. I think that's it. Is it? Yeah, it's it. All right. Now, this article I want to show y'all, right? Where does Nikola rank among the best centers in NBA history after title run, right? Now, mind you, for a lot of y'all that don't really care too much about the NBA Finals, a lot of y'all said that this wasn't one of the best finals y'all ever seen. Now, obviously, no finals can compare to the early 2000s, or in the early 2010s, you know what I'm saying? In the start of that Golden State dynasty. Like, we get it. But for what it's worth, something different in actual basketball being played, not some kind of, script being read. Because who would have thought a number 8 seed in the Eastern Conference would be one of the first to ever go to NBA Finals? But again, I digress on that. But where does Nikola Jokic rank among best centers in NBA history after title run, right? Okay. Now, for y'all non-casual sports fans, NBA watchers out there, y'all know that this felt like one of those 90s games where the big man just dominated. And NBC Connecticut agrees with that. Okay, the big man is back in the NBA. That's something that we can agree with. The top 2 best players in the NBA were big men, Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. A lot of y'all, if you're a Dallas Maverick fan like myself, you're going to put Luka in there, even though Luka's not really a big man per se. He's just big, but he's not what you call a big man, right? So the big man is back in the NBA. We know that to be true now. A league once dominated by centers in the 60s, 70s, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, those likes, shifted focus to athletic wings and long-range shooters. Steph Curry, the Kawhi Leonards from the mid-range, Paul George from mid-range, like those kind of guys, Dame Lillard from the 3, just to name a couple. But now the last 3 regular season MVP awards have been won by centers, and Nikola Jokic just put together a playoff historic run. Okay, so the last 3 regular season MVP awards. Well, we know that to be true because Nikola Jokic won it this year. No. Joel Embiid won it this year. Nikola Jokic won the previous 2 years. So we know that to be true, right? But now the last 3 regular season MVP awards have been won by centers, and Nikola Jokic just put together a historic playoff run. Now, that's something I am willing to bark back on because I don't know how it was a historic playoff run. But again, if we're not talking about individual awards, which we know is historic in these playoffs for a center to win to win Finals MVP, again, Nikola Jokic is the 9th center to win Finals MVP. So a center hadn't won league MVP since 2000 before the Denver Nuggets big man won in 21, 22, 22. We know that to be true. Okay, Philadelphia Sixers, Joel Embiid finished second to both Jokic. So again, back to what I was saying earlier, the best 3 players in the league for the past few years have been big men. It's Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and goddamn Joel Embiid in that order. No. You know what? I'll say Giannis because he does have Defensive Player of the Year awards. You know what I'm saying? So if Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid, those guys have been the three best players in the league. I know a lot of y'all have your favorites like Giannis. Some of y'all younger viewers are into Ja Morant, but this league has been about big men the past 3 years. And again, now that Jokic has added a championship and Finals MVP to his resume, something that Joel Embiid doesn't have, which is why I put him third on the list, right? Because Giannis has a Finals MVP, a championship. Nikola Jokic has a Finals MVP in a championship. Joel Embiid doesn't have any of that. He's never – has he even been to a Finals? Like, I know that that Philadelphia Sixers and the Toronto Raptors – but I don't know. But that's why I put Embiid third, because he's behind Giannis and Jokic. So anyway, now that Jokic has added a championship and Finals MVP to his resume, it's fair to start measuring him against the all-time greats. The center position is loaded with legends, dating all the way back to some of the league's first stars. Jokic is an untraditional big man, and we know that to be true. Because when you watch Nikola Jokic play, he's not a very orthodox, big man. He shoots weird. The way he dribbles the ball down court is weird, clunky. It looks like a dad trying to play basketball with the youth to be cool and shit. You know what I'm saying? So Jokic is an untraditional big man where he has the size and power, which is true, but often prefers getting his teammates involved while racking up triple doubles. We know this to be true. We know that Nikola Jokic now has the most triple doubles in playoff history already. He has more playoff triple doubles in the finals than the likes of Wilt and Shaq. That's crazy. And he's not really even – I don't think Jokic is even his prime yet. I know he's been around for 5 years, but I don't think prime really activates until around that 6th to 13th year. You know what I'm saying? Just depending on injuries and how he takes care of himself and whatever. So taking into account the 20-year-old Serbian's fresh title run, here's a look at so here's their list of their 10 greatest centers in NBA history. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay, we know that he is one of the best. Look at these. Look at this. A 6-time champion, 6-time MVP, 19-time All-Star, defensive awards out the ass, and second all-time leading scorer because LeBron James is first now. But that's a whole nother story. So we know that, right? Kareem, Russell, okay. We can deal with that, right? Bill Russell being number 2 to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay, that's fine. Even though he has 11 rings, but I don't know. It's how we talk about the greatest now doesn't include championships, which is why that LeBron James Jordan is just so much better now, because you don't have to use Jordan's numbers. You can use, Jordan's 6 rings. You can use the fact that Jordan OBPM was higher than LeBron James. Points per game was higher than LeBron James. And he did it in less shots. But again, that's a whole other debate. But Bill Russell, number 2 of all time for big men, cool. Wilt, cool with that. And for the longest, I forgot Wilt had rings. Has anyone ever, thought Wilt didn't have any rings? Because for the longest, I thought Wilt Chamberlain didn't have any rings. Crazy, right? As big of a sports fan as I am, I didn't know that Wilt Chamberlain had rings up until 5 years ago. So Shaquille O'Neal, okay, I'm cool with that. But we all know the potential of Shaq, of what he could have been if he would have stayed more in shape. Kobe Bryant talked about it. He's even admitted it on Club Shay Shay. So we can't take away what Shaq is here, but we know that he could have been better. Just for the dominance that he brought to the game. 15-time All-Star, 14-time All-NBA, 3-time All-Defense. That's still nothing to sniff at. Hakeem Olajuwon, okay, that's cool. I don't really I don't really follow too much into Hakeem Olajuwon, so I'm curious to hear you guys' comments on, y'all's thoughts on Hakeem. I know he's a two-time championship. Yeah, oh my God, a two-time champion, and he was a really good defender. So this is actually really good. Like, I'm cool with this. Cool with this. Dave Robinson, cool with that, right? Two-time champion, MVP, 10-time All-Star, 8-time All-Defensive, and he has Defensive Player of the Year. Moses Malone, okay, we're cool with that. Look at that, 8-time defense, and I think that's what's going to separate Nikola Jokic, because if you haven't been watching it, the top 7 best big men all have something in common with defense. Nikola Jokic, if you look at him, his number 8, he doesn't have any defensive awards. And a lot of people are saying that he's not really a defender per se, but he's not a bad defender. I think he's like 32nd or 36th in NBA win shares, in a NBA defensive win shares. So he's not a bad defender, and hopefully he can win a couple defensive awards, because you don't want to seem like you're just all offense. Patrick Ewing, you know who Patrick Ewing is? Like, he has no rings, so that's why he's number 9. But he's a 7-time All-NBA, 11-time All-Star, and he had 3-time All-Defensive. See, like, that's what is separating, is because Jokic has a ring now. If Jokic would have lost to Miami, who's to say he still wouldn't have been number 10? Because he still would have had his triple doubles. He would still have the number of assists. Jamal Murray still would have been Jamal Murray. So he still likely would have had the only duo to have triple doubles in the NBA Finals. So this is what separates him. But Bill Walton, 13.3 points. And this is why, because of the points thing and the fact that, assists. But he averages more blocks than Nikola Jokic. He's a 2-time champion, 78 MVP, 1986 Sixth Man of the Year. And I think this is a great list. I'm curious to hear what you guys think in the comments about it. But being number 8 center of all time, like, that's cool. He's already top 10. He's shown why he's top 10. He has the ring and the accolades to show that. So, and who's to say he won't win MVP next year? Just looking at the West, okay? Just looking at the West next year, right? Because they're already talking about the Denver Nuggets being a dynasty or whatever, right? So let's take a look at what the West could look like next year. You have the Golden State Warriors, who are getting older. You don't know what Draymond Green's future is looking like. Their defensive anchor. Is Steph Curry getting to that cliff that all great athletes seem to get to at some point? You got to look at that. Denver, they're all pretty young. Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray are not 30 yet, so they're not old. They have a good supporting cast around those two. If you keep Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. can continue to mature his game, I think you have something special in Denver for next few years at least, right? Because you have a 2-time MVP. You have a point guard that's been to the finals and won a championship. You have a good supporting cast. The coach, they buy into Mike Malone. That's something that you got to give the man credit for, coming from Sacramento to now being a championship coach in Denver. Respect to that. But looking at the other teams in the West, you got the Sacramento Kings. How are they going to develop? How is Sabonis going to learn from the moments where he didn't do well against the Golden State Warriors? He didn't do that well. In the regular season, we knew what Domantas Sabonis was. But what he could be in the playoffs, we didn't see that. We didn't see that. He should have been what Nikola Jokic was against the Golden State Warriors. Like, they don't have a big team. The Golden State Warriors do not have a big team, and that's another reason why why they likely won't see the finals again. Just because the game is moving towards the big man again. If you can score inside the paint, you are a dominant team. And if you have a supporting cast that can shoot the three very well and consistently, which the Denver Nuggets did, you have a dynasty there. But remember, like, subscribe, get this content out again. Love doing this with you guys on this Thursday night, going into Friday morning if you're on the East Coast. But looking at the other teams in the West, right? The Sacramento Kings, they have a good squad in De'Aaron Fox. I think if they keep Harrison Barnes, they'll be good. He's their Jeff Green. Domantas Sabonis needs to play better, and the supporting cast just needs to do what they do, because I feel like the only reason they lost was just because they don't have the experience of closing out games like Golden State does. But I feel like next year, after going through what they did this year, having that great season, I feel like they can make some noise. Hell, it might be Denver versus Sacramento in the finals next year. That's something new. I think that'll drive the viewership up because it's something new. Golden State will fade away and get old, and you'll have the new dynasties coming up. Sacramento, Denver, Memphis, if Ja Morant can get his act right. Speaking of the Grizzlies have more potential that they just don't use. Ja Morant, he just needs to get his head in the game. Once he gets his head in the game, we know what Ja Morant can be. Dillon Brooks, now that Dillon Brooks is gone, where's that voice in the locker room? Who's the voice going to come from? It can't come from Steven Adams. You need someone that can ignite the locker room. Because Ja Morant, with the things he's done to get himself into trouble, I don't know if you can really hold weight with his words. You know what I'm saying? If I know that I'm a pretty average player and Ja Morant is my leader, I personally don't think that I would respect the words he's saying to me, because I'm like, bro, you really don't care about us because you're doing all this, put yourself in trouble, keep you away from the team. Because we still haven't even heard the verdict yet on Ja Morant. The verdict on Ja Morant is going to shake up the West, because if he's suspended for 65 games, the Memphis Grizzlies are not going to be a top. Well, I'm not going to say that, because the Memphis Grizzlies are really good without Ja Morant. They have a really good record without Ja Morant, which is why I really do hope this kid gets it in line, because they're going to enact that clause in his contract to where his conduct is detrimental to the team, and take away his contract and trade him, and he'll be getting the veteran minimum because he's a liability. But overall, the Grizzlies, they still have a chance. They have other players that are really good on that team. I just can't name them right now because I don't follow the Grizzlies, but I know they have a good supporting cast outside of Ja Morant. And if Steven Adams can stay healthy, they have a solid chance to be a top 5 team in the West. I need some water, shoot. But looking at Minnesota Timberwolves, I don't know, man. They just can never just get it together. Now you got Cat talking about he's a top 5 player or whatever. Man, come on, Cat. You're talented, bro. I take nothing away from your game. But mentally, I don't think you there most of the time. I don't think Cat is there most of the time, man. They don't have a squad that is just mentally there consistently. The only one that you can really talk about is Ant. Because Cat, man, he's just so talented, but he don't ever use his talents to maximize his value for that team, dude. He's so talented, but in his head, he's not always there, man. He's not always there. And and that's why the Minnesota Timberwolves will likely be a first round exit team again next year. And then Houston, I don't know about Houston. Houston is Houston. They're going to be a lottery pick for a while until they can get another. Well, supposedly they're getting James Harden back, but that's not the same Houston James Harden that we're accustomed to. It's not. He's older. He's ready to retire. You know what I'm saying? In a state with no income tax. It's cool. Tom Brady went to Florida. James Harden is coming to Texas. That's fine. It's completely fine. You know, shout out Texas. But the Houston Rockets, they're going to be a lottery pick for a while, even if, again, rumors say that Zion Williamson is talked about in trades with Houston. Again, I haven't confirmed this, but this is just what the rumor is. I don't think that'll make a difference just because, again, that you need players that can be a voice in that locker room. And I don't know if Zion Williamson is that guy to be a voice in the locker room. Like, of course, James Harden gets all the respect in Houston because of what he's done, even though he didn't bring us a ring. But whatever, right? You need a voice in that locker room to inspire those guys. And Houston doesn't have that. They're not as talented as the other teams in the West. So, I don't know. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think in the comments about that. Man, because, again, the Houston Rockets, and I'm a Texan myself, but I don't know. It's just the Houston Rockets, they don't scare anybody. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Yeah. So Phoenix next year, you're still going to have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, but DeAndre Ayton, he's your Achilles heel. Like, he's a big man that doesn't want to be a big man, but with this new coach and owner regime, hopefully this can turn around DeAndre Ayton and make him play to his full potential, because I know what he can do. I seen what he can do in 2021, getting 20 points per game, being an okay defender, not the best. He couldn't do anything with Giannis, but most people can't do anything with Giannis. So I'm not going to hold him super accountable for that because Giannis is all-time great. But I don't know. Phoenix definitely has the most potential in the West. I'll say that. Phoenix definitely has the most potential in the West. And they got Frank Vogel, a defensive coach. That's cool. Because now you can let Devin Book, run the offense, and you let Frank Vogel handle, like, the defensive side. Because even if they don't shoot well, having good to really good defense really pays off in the long run. The Lakers, never say never, right? But Dallas, my team, Dallas, I don't know. Dallas can be good if they can get a defensive backcourt. They need help on defense, man. They need help on defense. That's their only problem. Utah is Utah. They're cool. Now the Clippers, I don't know, because Kawhi has a tear in his knee. He's gonna be out for the majority of this season. Paul George, you don't know what you're gonna get out of Paul George on a nightly basis consistently. So I don't know, but the Clippers, I like their culture, and they're never a team that you want to sleep on, for sure. But I don't know. But they got the Nuggets going to the NBA Finals again next year. So, moving on. The Philadelphia Eagles, right? Jalen Hurts is exactly what I thought he'd be, even after signing that contract. He's even brought it to the media's attention that he's upping the expectation. He's taking another step in his development, which is something that you love to hear from your franchise guy. Now we got some recent news that Miles Sanders was shading the Eagles for usage in the Super Bowl loss, and I don't understand you, Miles Sanders. When we give you more carries, you get hurt. You are always good for 10 to 15 carries. That is as much as I can say truthfully about Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is good for 10 to 15 carries. If you give him any more than that, he's an injury liability. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Kenneth Gainwell is making a statement as to why he should be the number one running back. Now, I don't really agree with that. I feel like he's a good number two option because, again, you got Swift, you got Boston Scott. So it's a very competitive running back room right now. Very, very, very competitive running back room right now. And as it should be. And again, shout out to Howie Roseman for how he organized that. Now, again, I know a lot of Eagles fans are still a little sour about, not getting the Dalvin Cooks and the DeAndre Hopkins of the world, but I'm here to tell you it was never going to work. It was never going to work. It just wasn't going to work because let's say you get DeAndre Hopkins on the Philadelphia Eagles, right? There's only one football. Y'all know that, right? We already have a $100 million wide receiver that we have to give at least 10, 15 targets to. You got Devontae Smith. And again, shout out to Devontae Smith. He is a new dad in the next 8 months. Yeah, man. Curious to see what kind of news he's going to have with having the first child of his life. Now, being a new dad, I don't really know that. I don't have kids, but if y'all do, shout out to all the new dads out there. I only hear good things, but understand that there are, hardships, being a dad and all that. But this isn't about that, right? This is but you got Devontae Smith. You got to give him 8 to 10 targets. And DeAndre Hopkins is not trying to be no third wide receiver, getting at best 7 targets. He's not a 7-target wide receiver. He's a guy you got to throw the ball to. He's the guy you got to give 10, 15, 20 targets to. He's a number one wide receiver, and he's looking for a number one wide receiver money. Howie Roseman is not going to do that. DeAndre Hopkins has shown he's a liability with the whole PED thing. So, and you just don't need him. You need a quality wide receiver 3. And training camp is going to mold us that diamond that we need at wide receiver 3. Because if you're telling me that Quez Watkins is going to mature in his development and the rookies that we drafted, if you're telling me that this is going to be a competitive job and whoever gets the job is going to do exceptionally well, then the Eagles are great, because I feel like the Eagles with the number 3 wide receiver would be the most dangerous team in the NFL, because that is what really plagued us. And even in the Super Bowl, Quez Watkins dropped what would have been a touchdown pass. Jalen Hurts' 5th touchdown of the game overall. And even in that loss to Washington, that was all because of a Quez Watkins fumble. So hopefully he steps up, or whoever is that wide receiver 3, because I would like us to have a 4-headed monster. You got Brown, Smith, whoever's the number wide receiver 3, who's really good. Dallas Goedert. And I like Calcaterra as the backup tight end. I really do like him. And you got Swift and Gainwell, who I have the utmost confidence in. So the Eagles are going to be a really good team this year. I feel like we can win the division again this year. We'll be the first NFC East team to do that in a very long time. We have the talent to do it. We have the coach that can get it done. Defense is looking like, look, I'm talking about PFF 2023 breakout defensive teams when I talk about the Eagles defense. Now, mind you, we still have some questions at the safety spot and certain linebacker spots that I hope get addressed later in this offseason. I hope we can get that together, but I do like that we have a defensive coordinator that is more aggressive than what we got out of Jonathan Gannon. I'm really confident in that. But overall, bro, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, I'm excited for the defensive line, honestly. I think we'll have the best defensive line again. I think the Eagles can go back-to-back years with most sacks in the NFL. I feel like we can do that again with the line that we have. Because they're going up against the greatest offensive line in the NFL, anchored by Jason Kelce. I don't know, man. I really can't say much that I haven't already said about the Eagles. Like, we're the best team in the NFC for sure. We're already on Betters's predictions for going back to and winning the Super Bowl. I just don't see what people can say. I'm saying, like, we have the best quarterback in the NFC. Okay, who's better than Jalen Hurts in the NFC, right? Let's just go by division. The NFC South, let's start there. Tampa Bay, are you saying Baker Mayfield is better than Jalen Hurts? New Orleans, Jameis Winston, Hill, they better than Jalen Hurts? I don't think so. The Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young, rookie. I'm not going to say a rookie is better than a Super Bowl quarterback. You know what I'm saying? A quarterback that's been to the Super Bowl. Moving on to the NFC West. The Seahawks. Can't say it till I see it. Geno Smith is nice. Geno Smith is really, really, really nice. He's nice. But I don't know. I just don't think that. No, I don't think he's good enough to compete with Jalen Hurts. So I'll say no on that. But we'll see when we play this year. Like, I think we played him this year. So take note on that. Cardinals, Kyler Murray, no. Kyler Murray hasn't been to a Super Bowl. Kyler Murray hasn't been to an NFC Championship. Kyler Murray hasn't gotten out of the first round of the playoffs. Kyler Murray doesn't have the team like the Philadelphia Eagles. His team isn't good enough around him to compete with the Philadelphia Eagles. Even though we did play a very solid game against them. But when you think about the Cardinals and the Eagles, clearly you're going for the Eagles. So, no. Who else in that? The Rams? Matthew Stafford? I mean, he's good for our secondary. They get practice, get interceptions and shit like that. That's cool. Because Cooper Kupp ain't enough. Cooper Kupp just won't be enough. Y'all's running game isn't all that. Y'all offensive line clearly isn't all that. Defense, okay, that's something that we always got to worry about. Aaron Donald, y'all don't have Jalen Ramsey anymore. So, no. The Rams, no. I'm not going to do that. But I'll give Matthew Stafford his respect because he does have a Super Bowl and his numbers are really, really good. for his career too. So I gotta give him that respect. But he's still not Jalen Hurts. He's not Jalen Hurts. So who did I say in the NFC West? Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams. Who else in that division? Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams. 49ers? No. I don't care who you put back there. None of them are better than Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry. Moving on to the NFC North. Minnesota Vikings. Primetime Kirk Cousins. No. Whoever that guy is on Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love. No. Jared Goff. No. But I do like Jared Goff, though. Left the Lions. The Lions definitely have brought out a more competitive side in Jared Goff that we just didn't see with the LA Rams prompting his departure. Who else in that division? Vikings, Lions. Yeah, Vikings, Lions, Packers. Vikings, Lions, Packers. Who else in that division? But whoever else in that division, no. So Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC East. We already have that advantage. We have our running back room is one of the best in the NFC. Definitely top 5. I'll say that because I do like other teams' running back groups. I just can't name them right. The Saints. I do like what they got as far as their running game is really good. So that's why I'll say the Eagles are like at least top 5, top 3 in the NFC. I do like our run game. Our wide receiving core is definitely top 3 in the NFC because you got to give respect to teams like Seattle, with Lockett and DK. You got to give them credit for that. But overall, we have the best team in the NFC, clearly. Now, as far as the AFC, I think we can compete with all except maybe 2 teams, the Jets, Chiefs. Chiefs. Who else is in that goddamn? The Chargers, maybe. Chargers are a really good team. Like those really good passing teams in the AFC. Because, again, we do have questions at the secondary spot and certain linebacker positions. So, definitely got to be wary of that. But overall, I think we're going to go back to, make another very good playoff run, go back to the NFC Championship, get the first round bye again, go to the NFC Championship game, win our division again. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think in the comments. Again, like, subscribe, get this content out there. But did y'all hear about Antonio Brown's team? His Arena League football team getting kicked out because he didn't pay the rent. Pretty much, he didn't pay the fine to keep the team in the league. That Antonio Brown. And I was watching a video where a security guard was telling him to get off the damn field, and he was one of the owners. That's hilarious. But he did it to himself, man. With all that dumb shit he did in the media, instead of just playing football, man, solidifying his Hall of Fame wide receiver career. So I don't know. Do y'all think Antonio Brown's going to Hall of Fame? I don't think so. I don't think Antonio Brown going to Hall of Fame. Because he has the numbers for sure, but now they take into account your personal behavior now. You see what they did to Terrell Owens. You see what they did to Terrell Owens. They kept him out because of personal reasons. They kept Chris Carter out because of personal reasons. But again, let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think it's fair at all. I don't think you should disqualify someone because I don't think you should disqualify an athlete. If their numbers are really solid, I think you should just turn the other cheek because you can't control what people do outside of their workplace. If I'm a really good cook but I had a drinking problem like outside my job. Are you not going to say that I was still one of the best cooks of all time, even though I had a drinking problem that didn't affect my work performance? I don't know. Curious to hear what you guys think in the comments. But hold on. Let me see something. Hold on. Yeah, but I don't think it's fair. So, what about this Conor McGregor getting alleged to have R-worded a woman game for the NBA Finals? Have y'all heard anything about that? Like, I think I want to talk about that one. Hold on. Hold your horses. Alrighty. Okay, move that over there. Thank you, ma'am. Cool.
Serious allegations today about UFC star Conor McGregor. On the same night, he made headlines for this stunt, punching out the mascot at the NBA Finals. A woman says McGregor violently.
Oh, I remember that. He did punch out that mascot. Man, his ass is crazy, man. Man, shit. Him and Antonio might got that CTE going on, man. That's crazy.
Sexually assaulted her in a bathroom at the arena. Now, as Stephen Fabian reports, McGregor's
nasty
reps are denying the allegation.
UFC superstar Conor McGregor is being accused of sexually assaulting a woman at the NBA Finals. It reportedly happened the same night McGregor punched out the Miami Heat's mascot. Now a woman is coming forward to claim the 34-year-old McGregor sexually assaulted her in a VIP bathroom. The allegations are detailed in a letter sent to McGregor and the NBA.
So the woman went to a law firm who sent a letter to the NBA. Okay. So this must be and he was in a bathroom. I mean, he was already wild and punching that mascot, but in a bathroom, bro. Oh, man.
It claims he aggressively kissed her, then committed an act of sodomy. He also
sodomy? God damn, man. What is this, biblical time, dog? Come on, dog. Man. And you spat on a motherfucker? Oh, man. They gonna deport his ass.
Spat on the victim, aggressively grabbed her, and pinned her up against the wall.
Dang. Super aggressive.
The alleged victim says she got away when she elbowed McGregor and finally escaped. The lawyer provided Inside Edition with this photo of the woman's clothes, preserved for evidence of McGregor's DNA. McGregor's lawyer released a statement saying the allegations are false. Mr. McGregor will not be intimidated.
Okay, so he's pretty much doing the typical rich thing where his lawyer comes out, the allegations are false, and McGregor will not be intimidated. Okay.
This is McGregor last night in New York signing autographs for fans. McGregor has been holed up in this swanky New York City hotel on Fifth Avenue.
Oh, I don't know if y'all been in a hotel, man, but it is hard to get into that motherfucker, man. They got $1,000, $4,000 night rooms. Sheesh.
Avenue all day. Now, he had been booked to be a guest on GMA3, but bailed out just before the allegations that he sexually assaulted a woman in Miami hit the news.
Conor McGregor was supposed to be with us this morning as well. Called early this morning and said that he doesn't have his voice is gone, and so he's not going to be here.
McGregor has twice been accused before of sexual assault.
Oh, he's been accused twice, but oh, come on. Come on,
He
Con.
denied wrongdoing in both of those incidents as well. No charges were ever filed.
Wait, so how was he accused but no charges were? Well, okay, so it just stayed in the media of public opinion, not an actual court of. Okay. Dang, but that's crazy, man. What y'all think about that? Because in my opinion, I'm not gonna say whether I think he did it or not, but it is pretty weird. You was wilding before that by punching that mascot, and then you've already been accused of this same allegation twice before. Again, not saying that other rich athletes don't get accused of stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. But I'm about to step out of here, y'all. It's been really nice doing this. Again, like, subscribe, get the content out there. Love you guys. Take it easy.